intel team members are being held captive by the PF in that area, the CFA. Your job is to rescue them. They don't have long to live. It appears that one of our 2 men has broken out of the encampment and is on the run. He contacted us to say he was surrounded. That's the last we heard from him. Your map is marked with a predicted field of movement based on where his transmissions cut off. The other man is still captive inside the encampment. Boss, rescue our men. Extract them both and get them back to Mother Base.
那个已经逃出来，那个叫很紧急啊，赶紧去。我觉得可能要先把它弄成狙击模式。那边有辆车在那开。哦，不是朝我开的。
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
我觉得那2个人跟我的目标有关系。走开！
Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. Keep your eyes open. Extract our man before their search team can find him. Check his location on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
人呢？
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Is he okay?
You've reached the target's predicted field of movement. If he's gone to ground, he'll have hidden himself somewhere in that area. Find him.
Enemy presence analysis complete. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
这一关不能犹豫，你看见人就要把他干掉，要不然被发现了。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
不是，最主要是不是我被发现，是我们的同伴要被发现。
presence detected. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. Caution, rain approaching.
"怎么那么难打得动他啊？"
Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
"找到了，
Analysis complete.
Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets. Our man on the run is somewhere in that forest. I've sent his predicted field of movement to your iDroid. Take a good look.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Now, rescue the other target.
The map
Head for Gazeba Camp.
好，走。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
先让静静准备准备。
Did give us all the intel he could. Now we know exactly where our other agent is being held captive. And he brought back intel on the CFA. Guy deserves a raise. Check it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Gazeba Camp, an enemy outpost. It's got good visibility and not many places to hide. Use the landscape wherever possible.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
这之前来过了这个地方。
Boss, we've picked up some movement. The squad is on its way to Gazeba Camp.
Arrived.
We've ID'd them as some CFA heavyweights. These aren't your everyday reinforcements. Whatever's about to happen, you need to get the target out now.
Movement complete.
在地底下啊。
The map has been
That's him.
updated.
That's the target. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
They kept saying the disease was her fault.
什么病啊？
Just shouting at me. Over and over.
We're better off extracting the wounded via chopper.
Kept saying
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter requested.
Confirmed extraction of both targets. Boss, on behalf of all the Diamond Dogs, thank you.
这关好快啊！
No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. The one and only. Boss, one of the job offers we received concerns me.
Mission list
There's a PF
updated.
commander who's been talking big about getting into the nuclear arms trade. This could be connected to that yellow cake. And there's another contract I'd like you to handle.
Shortly.
It's a wet job, but we need to divert Cypher's attention. Check the mission list for the details.
之后再看，我们先听一下录影带、录音带。
Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkolobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium-enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass-produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel-type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility. If that kind of place existed in Zaire, the Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure. But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, ZRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolobwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to reopen the mine after it was flooded. That's how good its uranium must have been. With that, the world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow, he'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would Zero-Risk Security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, yet to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it?
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
就是应该就是说那个合金装备快造出来了，是吧？
Rogue Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the 3 PFs, they're the smallest. However, they scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS Sea Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers. But in '51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in the Malayan emergency. Even now, 22 SAS keeps the Sea Squadron designation empty in recognition of their service. In a way, you could say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Cella Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kunganga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now 2 ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the 2 groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kunganga Mine. But most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product they've gouged out of their land is bought up by cheap Western corporations. And this civil war is fueled by the profits. That's how it goes. One country's people is split apart by another country. Then the 2 groups tear up their own land for money in order to fight each other. Now this civil war started by a foreign power is the norm, and it's sucking up all the country's resources. PFs are just the same. They follow the money, taking war with them wherever they go. That goes for us too. It's an endless river of bloody retaliation, and we're standing downstream. Should we make a stand and staunch the flow? Or wade in amongst the corpses and make a bigger splash than the rest? We'll follow your lead, boss.
There's 6 targets. Our contract is to kill them all. And the client is the general they served under. He wants them dead to keep them from talking. Check a VI on your iDroid for more information.
行，把他们一个一个回收了就好了。
The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from his machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
Buddy has infiltrated our map has been updated. Enemy
That's from
presence.
Heavy Plantation.
The map
The
has
targets
been
are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
arrived at your destination. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
里面还有一辆坦克、啊。
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
好像不是这两个人。
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
我以为这能进去啊。等那个人过来。
Let's come on!
好，两个。
was een van onze troepen die lucht getrekt. Ons heeft waarschijnlijk een indringer. Geen instructie. Oor. Reserveer, begrijp. Bescherm securiteit en punt die indringer. Uit.
进入警戒状态了呀！重来。
That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun can cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss. He's coming too. Roger that. Our contract is to eliminate the target. Extracting the target. Our contract was to kill the target, but I'll go with your decision. 5 targets remaining. Head for the Kungenga mine.
Mission info has
啊，
been
这
updated.
边就搞定了是吧？我们走。没什么东西可以捡啊。你就进去归位。